defense.
Welcome back to Split the Defense Leafs post-game, presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving Kingston and the surrounding area since 2004. I'm Jordan Webster with Craig Pearce and producer Ted Evans in the booth for game number 50 for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they drop yet another in the Battle of Ontario to the Ottawa Senators. I don't even know what the fuck to say about this one, CP. Where do you want to start? Like, where do we even... I have several notes. Nothing is super exciting. I don't think that goal should have counted at the end. You want to start there?
Sure, yeah. Like last time there was a kicking motion type goal. My question was, where does it stop? Like, is it like below the knees? Like, if it goes off your hip, does it count? So like, I don't know. Does that matter? I just, it's one of those where I just don't understand what the NHL's rule is, like so many other rules that they have. So like, to me, like, it looks like he's swinging his knife shoe at the goalie and the puck goes in because of it. Like, so I don't know. Where's the line?
Yeah. Well, I think the whole play starts off borderline high stick. Like, it was very close.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have called it, but it was borderline high stick. And
there's
then
like three things that
Lorenz had a
back
goal. Yeah, Lorenz had a goal earlier in the season taken back from him from an exact kneeing motion that I saw. And if you rewatch the play and especially in slow motion, it looks very much like he's kneeing the puck. And there was no challenge on the play. In what world doesn't Craig Berube even put a challenge on the play? Why don't you think he'd do that when he already had a goal just like that taken back on him earlier in the year?
You know, it's like it's weird. Do we have the same video coaches? Because like I feel like Sheldon Keefe called backs or like at least reviewed so many more plays. So like I don't know if it's just that he isn't willing to go for the close ones, but like I don't know. To me, I mean, there is a lot of time like on the clock. It only puts you down one. And so like you're kind of putting faith in your players that like, let's not put you on the PK. Let's just put you back out there and let's get some goals. Cause like for two periods, they like dominated play, or not quite dominated, but played better than the Sens, I think, in the second and third. And you would have expected them to get at least one goal. And they couldn't. So like, I don't know. It's a little bit that I understand your point. Like, yeah, I feel like that is close enough to challenge, but I see the other side of like, just, I don't know. We got some guys out here that should be able to put the puck in the net. Especially Domi on that friggin' last, like I don't know how much time is left, but like he gets two swats at the puck. If that's anyone else on the team, anyone who can actually score the puck, that's a goal. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, tough one for sure.
Tough one. There was lots of chances. The Holmberg Lorentz line, they had quite a few chances at the end of the game there. And, you know, again, like you said, if they had somebody who could finish, you think that it might have went in the back of the net, but wrong people in the wrong place at the right time kind of thing.
Every time that they like had a lot of momentum, I'm just thinking to myself, I wish like Matthews and Marner would be like are out here to do something, but at the same time, like those are the guys that are getting down there. So like, I don't know. It was like one of those, like, yeah, you just wish that Lorenz just had like a little bit more of a scoring touch to be able to finish on his own or make a play. So yeah, it's kind of, you know, tough to see. I mean, like when you look at this lineup, there's three guys in this line where I would hope that only one of them would be in it, you know, like we're down players and we're down guys that put the puck in the net, specifically Tavares and Nyes. And so I think you feel a little of that. Like when Robertson's out there, like with 6-on-5, it's just like, wow, yeah, we're here. This is where we are in the depth chart where Robertson, even though like he did have some really nice plays tonight, like I see why they put him out there, but at this, like, it's just, man, like that should be Tavares or Nyes or someone who can do a little bit more. So yeah, tough to see for sure.
Yeah, the Leafs are certainly hurting right now because of the injuries. This whole lineup just kind of looks mishmashed, and I don't know. It doesn't really inspire me to take too much stock into how the team plays.
Yeah, like are any of these lines a playoff line?
No, they need upgrades before they go to the playoffs, because if they're going to lose anybody, which chances are there's going to be an injury somewhere along the lines, you need other guys who can step up, and the guys they have right now just aren't quite enough. So like everybody that went out to play this hockey game tonight in this Battle of Ontario, as much as you wanted them to win, it like missing John Tavares and Matthew Nyes was huge. And the team did play differently because of it. It might have looked a little different. Like they're not going to score one goal in most hockey games. They're going to score many more goals than one goal, right?
Yeah. I think like
you had William Nylander was playing center tonight. He's taking draws tonight, and like they haven't done that ever, not ever. Yeah, he did well. He did great. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. But like that's how desperate they are. That's when are they ever going to do that again? Is my point. Like
yeah, I actually like Willie playing like because he's the right shot. Like I like him taking more faceoffs because he is better at it than I think like is given credit to him, and he showed that tonight.
Yeah,
but it does kind of show like the depth that's on this team. Like, you know, it's a really top heavy team. Yeah, and like when like this team needs to get things out of Bobby McMahon and Nyes to be successful, and you lose one of them, and you see like, you know, Killian or Holmberg or, you know, those guys aren't at the skill level to step in and replace, and you just need more from guys like Domi too. Like, so there is like a bit of a, you know, this team is very loaded on like top heavy on the depth charts, and you see it when you just start to lose guys, you know.
So what did you think of Killian tonight? I saw him. He looked like a dog on a bone. He wanted the puck. He won the puck a lot. He's big and strong. That's really good. Mm-hmm. Seems defensively responsible. That's really good. But he also seems like his brain's a tad slow for the NHL right now, and he put the team in a few situations where they got hemmed into their own zone. What was your overall impression of him?
I mean, I basically would just repeat what you just said. Like, yeah, dog on a bone, looks like a guy that like has some body size, like a little weight to his height. Doesn't use it like in a huge way. Like he's not out there like throwing hits like crazy, but definitely hounding pucks. But yeah, just doesn't have the NHL experience. Let's say it nicely, I guess. And needs to like learn a few things, especially in his own zone. You know, there's like the one highlighted play by the broadcast where, you know, like you obviously have to go out and challenge that player out on the wing, and it just doesn't. Basically just thinks that he needs to stay right in front of the net, and like the guy walks in on him. So yeah, I mean, you can learn though. Like the dog on a bone is way more important to me than guy that's just smart, you know, because you can start to teach guys, like especially a guy that like I don't think like caps out at more than a fourth or third line player, like, you know, so you just need to teach them like the basic fundamentals that are different to the NHL. And yeah, he can be a you know, fill-in guy. So, but yeah, I don't know, nothing too crazy there.
What about the knee on knee with Nick Cousins tonight?
Ooh.
So
yeah,
do you think
Cousins.
either one of them saw it? And what is your thoughts on Nick Cousins taking the brunt of that?
I mean, like my thought on Nick Cousins in general is like, you know, that guy's he's a dirty player. I mean, it's rough saying dirty, but like, I don't know. Yeah, he's a dirty player. He's a rat type of player, and you know, the nicest way. And yeah, I think that he kind of did initiate that contact a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of, maybe it's karma that he's the guy out. I'm not wishing injuries on anyone, but like I was very happy that Killian was the guy that walked away from that looking fine after a couple minutes. Because yeah, tough one. You never like to see knee on knee. Actually, hilarious though, our conversation. Let's just fill everybody in on the. So I thought that Killian was the guy that took out Patrick Laine in the preseason. So I which was a knee on knee play, and not like a minute and a half after I brought that up to Webby, does he go knee on knee with someone? And so I was like, oops, he did it again. But yeah, after looking up, he's not the guy that took up Laine. It was Pearce.
No, that was Pare.
Or Pare, yeah. We'll never see him again, probably. So yeah.
Cedric Pare. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that was funny. But no, I do agree. I thought Nick Cousins saw him coming. The Killian was like making a play and like trying to get off, right? Like
Yeah.
And I thought Cousins was trying to, give him a little bit of the business and maybe just wanted to catch him and didn't really expect the knee either. Like, I don't think he intentionally need him, but I think he intentionally tried to get a piece of him in kind of a dirty, ratty way. And
Any
he paid for it. I think it's a classic case of fuck around, find out.
Yeah, I think anytime that you see like the knee kind of like when it extends outside of like your shoulders, that to me is like that's a guy that's actually putting his knee out there, and I do think I saw a little bit of that. So I don't know. I think you can argue both ways. Depends which fan you are, I guess. Like I'm sure that all of the Sens fans think that it was fine, but yeah.
What do we think of top line Bobby McMahon, who opened the scoring tonight? Who has a bunch of goals on the season now? We should look that up.
What's like there should be a chart for value like that you're giving the team over your contract. Like I'm sure maybe like one of the websites that you pay for will give you that information. But I think Bobby McMahon might lead the league in value. Is that what value over replacement is? I've heard people say that. I don't know, but either way, I think that he provides way more than we're paying him. And just to see that he's a guy that can step up on a first line and finish. And like I feel like Marner knows it too, because I think in a lot of scenarios he doesn't even feed that pass to Bobby McMahon, or if that's say Pontus Holmberg, he just waits it and sees if Matthews can get a little more open, because like he had to like thread it a little bit. It's not like just a wide open guy in front. So yeah, I think that there's confidence within the room with Bobby McMahon. I think he's like probably a like $6 million player or something, and we're not paying him near like even close to that. Yeah, and I'm totally cool with him being on the top line. It's just once you see what happens when you get, farther and farther down, that's where it, kind of is disappointing. And I thought that was the argument to put Domi on the top line instead of Bobby, because like Bobby's succeeding in a like middle of the lineup guy. Domi's not. And so I know you don't want to like give people like a cookie when they're not playing very well, but you want to get someone going. Like Domi's a guy that has a contract. He's going to be here for a bit. So you want to do everything you can to get someone like that going. And especially when we're like running lines out that like aren't playoff. Like we can both agree these aren't lines we're going to see in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just like, why not try and get Domi going a little bit more?
And in that case, with so little options right now, it's really not rewarding mediocre play for giving Domi the top line. It's just another look. It's like, why did they choose Bobby? Maybe because Bobby's hot and they just want to give him more minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I'm totally okay with that too, because Bobby, he deserves it. Like he's been playing really well. I think he's one of those
13 goals, 8 assists, or he might have 14 goals now after this game. I'm not sure if NHL.com's got the after game stats hooked up there. But yeah.
But per minute played, he's providing like a lot. This isn't a guy that's getting 20 minutes a night, like he's providing depth scoring. Like he's exactly what depth scoring is. Like he's in a dictionary, there's Bobby McMahon there sitting beside depth scoring.
100%. All right, so what else you got going on for this game here? I think I'm out of notes. This pretty boring game overall. 1-1. Second period was slow and boring. I thought I might fall asleep at some points. Not literally, but figuratively. It sucked. What other takeaways did you have from this one? Rapid fire thoughts here before we pack it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I thought it was going to be like a really intense second and third based on like a little bit of the chippiness and like Brady Tkachuk and Domi going at it. But that just kind of disappeared. It was a little disappointing to see. So I do agree with you. I think like the first thing that comes to mind is just Joseph Woll played really well, like made a lot of like desperation type saves. Like he's a pretty decent goalie when he has to scramble. So I thought he did a good job kind of keeping the minute, didn't give up any, sloppy ones. I guess when you're like coming off watching Hildeby play, it's just nice to see that your comfortable goalie in there gives them every chance to win,
Do you think there was a little bit of a lack of emotion for a Battle of Ontario tonight between the two teams with the whole fizzle out of the Domi and Tkachuk thing? Like, I know it's not old school hockey, but did you not expect a little more things to bubble over? And like, has nothing ever happened from the whole Ridley Gregg thing? Like, should there not be like it's
Yeah.
just over now? Everybody's good. They fought, and it's like it's over, and like
I know, like when you expect Riley to throw like a big hit tonight or
yeah,
something, like I totally thought the same thing. Like, and I mean, Domi's the only guy who has ever talked about the Battle of Ontario. I'm like, who's the guy that started mixing it up in the first period? At the same time, like I want Domi to focus on like getting on the board. Like we know that he can mix it up. Like we're not sure if you can score anymore. I mean, you know, prove me wrong, but at least like, you know, even if you're not like scoring goals, like don't part of Domi's is providing like creating goals for other players, and you're not even really seeing much of that either. So yeah, I do agree though. Like it looked like I thought it was like a game that it might get a little out of hand, you know, where like, you know, you get to the second and third and you're almost getting like a, you know, the refs are just throwing guys in the box just to kind of cool things down a little bit out of scrums. But yeah, it just didn't really look that way. And like, I mean, I don't know. Our boys at the top, our superstars, how long have they been around? How long have we watched them? They're not mix it up kind of boys, you know? So, unfortunately, it is what it is.
yeah, they are what they
They're
are.
not
They're
Wendell
growing
Clark.
into anything at this point. Yeah,
No. I mean, we've seen Matthews, like, when he gets out of hand, it, you know, results in a suspension or a penalty or something. Like, he kind of crosses a line in a weird way. And, you know, I don't know. I love our stars, man. Like, I love that we have really good players here, but you do wish that there was a little bit more Wendell Clark in them, a little bit more, you know, even Doug Gilmore. Like you see those two talking the other night on Prime, and it's just like, geez, like those are days where this team had it good, and the guys that led them just, you know, blue collar grit type guys. And you know, I love William Nylander, but he is the farthest thing from that. And you know, just it is. But I also want to appreciate what we got. You know, we got, you know, a lot of talent on this team, which is awesome to have.
yeah, totally agree. All right, is that your final thoughts, or you have anything else to go on about
No,
before we get out of here?
Yeah, I think that's it for me. It's funny that like the Battle of Ontario game is a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was boring. Like,
Yeah,
what
that's
do you
what I mean.
expect?
It's not on
Like,
us.
it
It's on them.
sucked. Yeah, exactly. Make
Yeah.
a more exciting game, and I'll have more to say about it. It was like the second whole, like 20 minutes of the whole game was just, I didn't write anything down. Usually
Yeah.
by the end of the second,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I don't know how much more I can write down in the third. Hopefully nothing crazy happens because I've got so much for a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
Tonight, I'm like, oh,
Actually,
well, I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about.
I could fill 2 more minutes. And it is kind of cool to see, though, Ottawa is getting better. You know, like I cheer against them, but I also want my rivals to be decent.
No.
And they are kind of figuring out a little bit. That's not a team that like we shouldn't have lost to. Like they're trying to make it into the playoffs, and we could yeah, this is something. We could actually friggin' play them in the playoffs. How crazy would that be? You know, to actually have an Ottawa Toronto series. Man, I would pay for that to see that. Like, I don't want to see Columbus, especially because that's a team that, like, you know, you're just going to get jinxed against. At least against Ottawa, like, I would be up for
Ottawa.
Maybe, but like, I would be so friggin' excited.
I have the
for that,
worst feeling.
Maybe I don't know. I just think that
The
it'd be
one year
crazy.
they win the
Game
division.
3 and 4 would be just crazy. I'd be stressed as hell for the end, but yeah.
I'm all for, you know, the classic teams being good. Like I like Montreal to be good, but I like Montreal to be about as good as they are right now. Any better than that, and I'm not very happy.
I mean, they
about it.
suck, man.
I'm happy with where Ottawa is as well. I think that's a great spot for them. I don't want them to be bottom feeders. I want them to be good enough, right? Still a fight. They're still fighting for playoffs.
What
We're
they are
still
now.
talking about maybe playing them in the first round. That's as far as it goes, though.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want them to be top of the division. Don't get me wrong. I think they're perfect where they are. We're like, you lose against them, and you can't really say that you lost to the worst team in the league. But when you beat them, it's it's a respectable team. You know, Montreal still sucks. Like they need to be better. I mean, figure it out, Montreal. It's been long enough. You've sucked now for like 3 seasons. So like they need to be better. I feel like Buffalo is a team I never want to be good. Like I love that they suck all the time.
Hasn't Ottawa been bad since like 2017?
I mean, like maybe
they went to like the finals in 2017.
Is that it?
Like 18,
I thought it was like
19,
15.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's a lot of years.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I mean, like, about time for them. I guess Montreal. Yeah, if they're not Ottawa though. I mean, like, I think
Montreal went to the
should be held
finals in 2021.
Fuck
Stanley Cup finals.
That's what I mean.
I was looking that up the other day. Looking up who the
so.
losers were of all the Stanley Cup. And I was like, oh yeah, fucking Montreal. I was trying to name them without looking it up.
Man, what a
and I couldn't remember that year. And I was like,
Leafs.
oh yeah, suppressed memory.
Yeah, man, that's brutal. Just what an opportunity blown that fucking year was. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't honestly hate to see them in the first round over Ottawa. Because, like, honestly, again, like I said, I don't want to see Ottawa. I don't want to see Ottawa do good. I don't like losing to Ottawa. You'd
rather play Columbus?
I'd rather play anybody but Ottawa, probably.
Really, eh? Oh, wow. I mean, part of this is a guy at work is a big Ottawa fan. And so, like, it'd be really good for the conversations at work if Ottawa and Toronto go to the finals. But, play in the first round, not in the finals. That can't happen. But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't it suck just to play Tampa or Boston? Like, would you rather that? Like, I would just hate to. That's my worst nightmare, I think.
It's going to be Tampa. Yeah, Tampa's going to end up down in the wild card there.
I'd rather play anyone else. Like, even Pittsburgh.
No doubt.
Like, anyone from the other division welcomed, or Ottawa, like, just whoever.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's going to be decimated. Sidney Crosby's going to the Avs.
It's true, but like, isn't it the time where like they tear it apart and then he's not going to that?
Thanks for throwing that in, and thanks for saying it's true, CP. That was funny.
No.
I'm clipping that.
They are tearing it down, is what's true. But like, wouldn't it be so Sidney Crosby? Like, they take everyone away that's supposed to help him, and then he just goes on a run.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, and the team's gonna make the playoffs. Oh,
yeah. He just makes the last spot on the last game. Yeah. For sure.
100%. All right, well, let's wrap this motherfucker up. We got our next game coming up Wednesday. We got a slow week this week. We play Wednesday and then again next Saturday. So we'll be back after the Wednesday game against the Minnesota Wild. Thanks for joining Split the Defense Leafs post game, presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving the Kingston and surrounding area since 2004. Leave us a comment if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube. And until next time, peace.
Later.
Follow the boys on Twitter at STDPWebby, at Craig D. Pearce, and at Ted_is_show.